Martin, if we could start with a fitness update for yourself. How are you? Fit and ready to go?
Not be available for tomorrow anyway, let me put it this way. But yeah, listen, I'm doing fine. Thank you very much for asking.
How was that period, having to kind of be away and maybe try and manage things from a distance?
Well, I think they did pretty well without me anyway, so I don't have to worry too much in that score. Yeah, listen, it happens when you get to my age. You might have a few problems. Hopefully, it never happens to you. I'm sure it never will. But I'm getting there.
A good performance and result to
did great.
Up as you watched on.
Absolutely, yeah. Watched it on TV. Goal in the first minute of the game. Great start. Tough 10 minutes after that. I thought Kilmarnock did really, really well, and could have equalised. We had one kicked off the line. Trusty, I think, got his knee to it, but second goal settled us down, and we took it on from there, which was really good.
Can you bring us up to speed on Arne Engels? Is that a departure that's going to be confirmed imminently, and your reaction to that?
I would imagine that he's probably at this minute doing the medical. I think that West Ham wanted him to be available for opening day of the season. Naturally, disappointed really that he's leaving the football club. He's done very well for us, particularly in in the couple of spells that I've been here. And it's hard to dissuade him of that. If it hadn't come up, I think he'd been happy. And he didn't complain at all, even though the offer came in very late from Nottingham Forest in January time. Never moaned about it at all. So it's an opportunity for him at the end of, and it's really hard to turn it down. It would be hard for him, and he's going to really fantastic football club.
How do you feel about the timing for you with the big Champions League?
I think that and ideally I'd love him to have stayed and maybe completed after the two games, and it probably wasn't going to happen. You got a concern, I suppose, with the fact that Alistair played for us. When there was an offer in the table, hurt himself. Maybe that things like that there may disappear, and I suppose Arne was probably worried the same sort of thing might happen. So it was, I probably, from a playing viewpoint, I probably can understand that.
What is the latest with Alistair then? Is he going to?
He'll be out for a few weeks. Yes. By the time he's fit, it'll be past the transfer deadline, and he's been very stoic about it. Really, he played. With having had a very, very, very good World Cup, and he played here, did a little bit of training with us, put him into the opening game. He got through that, and it's just a shame for him, really. But it's not long term. It's something that he'll get over, and he'll be back. And he's a really good player. So disappointment, perhaps maybe that disappears. He'll be back, and he'll be raring to go. And so he Alistair helped us out immensely, in coming in and playing without a great deal of preparation beforehand. After the World Cup, you get a couple of days or a couple of weeks break. It's not that much. It's the same for a lot of international players. But he played without complaint at all, and it's just a bit of a shame. But that's football.
Is it different, Martin, to his hamstring injury from last season?
I think it's not as. I think it's a wee bit lower down. Last year it was high up, and hence the operation. But it's something that he'll get over. He just towards the end of the first half, I think he just passed the message on to Sean and Mark that he was just feeling it a little bit, and he's come off precautionary. I think Sean used the word, and I think we thought that at the time. Like scans, one never knows exactly. The scans, of course, can show something, but I don't think he'll be out for long. If you consider, let's say, and I'm guessing here, probably mid-September.
Mid-September. How happy are you with the acquisitions, Mika Bauer and Hassim Hassan?
I'm really delighted. I'm delighted with the four players that we brought in. I think that centre forward, even after the first game of a number of misses, that he had. At least he was there. He was trying to score. He could have got 1 or 2 goals against Dundee and followed it up then with a hat-trick. So I'm delighted with him. I think that Duran has been terrific. And I think in time, the other 2 that we've signed, I think they'll do really well. Obviously hoping that that's going to be the case, but they've got good talent.
Are they in the matchday squad for tomorrow?
Yeah, they're coming with us. Yeah, Mika's definitely ahead of Hassim in the sense that he has played football during after the World Cup was over. Hassim didn't get. He took a bit of a holiday. He's come back. Didn't really train with Oviedo, and trained on his own with a trainer, which is a totally different thing, really. So this is the first time that he's really joined in a couple of days. We'll see how he is, taking his fitness or not full fitness into consideration. But he's coming with us, and we'll see. I don't know whether we would start with him or not, but I wouldn't mind to get something in before we played. We played on Wednesday night, but we'll see.
Would you expect to make more additions before the Champions League first leg, Martin?
It would be nice. I think that we are we're making progress. My favourite words. I'm making. God Almighty, even I get fed up with that. And we're making progress. You stopped me in my tracks here, mate. Right. I think. I think that we are making progress about some extra players coming in.
As one of those, you're making progress with Landon Emmanuel from Chelsea. What can you tell us?
What can I tell you? I think he's a really fine young player. I think that obviously we need that position covered because of Kieran. Kieran did exceptionally well last season, having had been plagued with injuries at Arsenal. He came roaring back, which was great. And this young man has definitely got talent. He's got a bit of an injury at the moment. We're hoping that would clear up shortly, and if it does, and I think it will, I'd love to have him if that's the case.
You've been asked about this before, Martin, in terms of Callum. Callum made it clear that if the club matches his ambitions with the quality players that are coming in, then he's happy to be here. With the lads that you've now brought in, has there been that conversation with Callum or any reassurance from him?
I think sometimes you get that. I think I've said this before about clubs matching players' ambition. I think I said this to you. I said this to Brian Clough a way back. Did the club match my ambition? And he left me out for 4 months. So I don't think that Callum would ever have said that, to tell you the truth. And if he did, I would have found it a bit strange. He's not that type of lad. But of course, he's over 30 years of age now, and I think that he wanted to know where the club stood with him as much as anything else, And I think that that's been well and truly cleared up. He was super for us last season, really, really super, and he's got the club. He really knows the club inside out, and I think that's really important. And if I've managed here before, where players knew the club and integrated players who didn't know the club very, very quickly, so that was important, But it's like Paul Lambert bringing the likes of Chris Sutton and people like this into the football club quickly and telling them what to do, and then following that up when Neil Lennon arrived. So Callum has that same sort of influence, and it's really, really positive. So I don't think he. You maybe tell me that you probably show something that he probably did say this, but I would be surprised. But really, no, it's he's really happy.
Martin, you mentioned the word progress. A lot of fans maybe want it to be quicker, but it seems that the club has kind of gone down a different route of going for real quality instead of maybe quantity of loan players. Is that something you discussed at the start of the summer that you would know at that time that it's going to be maybe have to be patient, but it'd be worth it in the end?
Well, ideally it would be fantastic. Any football manager would say to you, you'd love to have the players in almost the day that you arrived at the football club. Wasn't going to happen. You had some negotiations to do and all that type of stuff. But overall, I think that the message was trying to get quality in. Now the point about it is this here, that if you lose some players, as we've done, you know, and if Arna transfer goes through, you're losing a strong midfield player who can go box to box. So you're going to miss that, you know. So we have to try and replace that. And that's what we will, even at this late stage, we will definitely try and do. I think if you're talking about quantity, I mean, you can sign there's a lot of players out there at this minute, and some players definitely within your budgets and stuff like this, and some players outside it. And I think you're just trying to work all the time to get as good as you possibly can to replace some of the players that have left. And even if those players didn't leave, you still want to augment the squad with a bit of quality, which I felt last season. I thought that we really struggled, you know, to score goals, and we did score goals miraculously, and whatever we did do. But if you think a bit sometimes of the lineup, you wondered where you were going to get a few goals, and if you fell behind in matches, would you be capable of winning? We did do that in the end, but I think through sheer heart more than anything else, you know. So it'd be nice to get players in that you feel as if, you know, we can maybe conjure a goal.
Is the recruitment strategy and just, you know, behind the scenes, has it felt different in the summer to January? I know they're two completely different windows in terms of who's available, but has it felt like there is more of there was a lot of loan players come in January?
Well, yeah, and that might have been a lot to do with me really as much as anything else, because you thought that I think I was going to have a big conversation with you when I'm way back in January and August time. The answer is no, I didn't think. And therefore you thought, well, do you spend a lot of money on some players that the new manager might not suit? Now please don't think you know, I'm selfless in that there. I'm not, absolutely not. I wanted them to suit me at the end of it all. But there wasn't, and it was a different, as you say, a different window. Here you can do something about getting permanent players in. January transfer window, I've known from my own experience, almost feels as if it's like a loan thing as much as anything else. So but in terms of recruitment, I've got nothing but great admiration for the recruitment staff. They're honestly, tirelessly mentioning players to me, right, left, and centre. You know, right from the off, right from the minute they said that you're going to be back in again this season. So yeah, we've been trying our best. Really have been trying our best, and some things that we have not been able to do, and some things hopefully we can still do between now and the end of transfer deadline. It would have been lovely, as I said, to have had some of these players, like Hassim, like Mika, having had some real proper football with us in terms of time on the field before you played really difficult couple of Champions League qualifying games. Outside that, I'm really happy with the boys that are coming in.